You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 284 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
Well, I mean, we're all got scorned hearts today. Starting off the Monday with scorned hearts, my friend.
Well, the date is wrong on here. It's not December 11th. I believe it's the December 16th. So let me take a second to fix that. But outside of that, you're scorned. I don't feel as bad, not because I'm not sad to see Chris Henderson go, but because we've been saying that this was going to happen for a few months now. For a few months, we heard from somewhere, someone told us that this was coming. And since then, we kind of were just waiting on the day to happen, and it's here. You know, we move on.
Yeah, I mean, it's been in the writing. A lot of people have kind of already assumed that this was going to happen with Chris Henderson. And we got all that to talk about today. I mean, we got the Hendo stuff. You know, we also got some season ticket member little fiasco that happened yesterday. A couple other things on the docket.
Not a fiasco, an event.
Yeah.
An event. We got some preseason to talk about. We got some kits, right? Got new kits, leak kits. And then we got there we go, fix the date. And then we got you want to talk about aliens for some reason. I am yet to understand why, but we can get into all of that and more. But so I guess let's start with the Chris Hendo stuff. All right. And then Danny, can you give all the Let Hendo cook shirts to Tommy? I can sell them to Tommy. I'm gonna drop them in red in the next day or two. So yes, I'm gonna have that out there for the Atlanta fans on batterfans.com because Chef Hendo is still active, but in Atlanta. So he's gone, Chris.
Cooking in a different kitchen.
Do you think that this is gonna be a big hit for Inter Miami? Like, are we gonna take a big hit?
I think we're gonna take a bigger hit than people are anticipating. I mean, I don't know too much about this guy, Raul Sansalesman. I don't know too much about him, whether he's a mathematician or not, but it takes a pretty good mathematician to sort of master the intricacies of the MLS and this monopoly money that you can play with. So the fact that Hendo was kind of able to make something out of nothing while we had sanctions was phenomenal. And I know a lot of people that are older fans are not happy, obviously, and that's not a good look.
I'm trying to see what Sanlehi's contract is. I can't find it. Okay. But this is my thing, right? Because I see a lot of people, and I feel like more people are worried about the rules and the money than they are about the players that we'll be getting, right? Nobody's talking about, oh my God, Chris Henderson built these awesome teams. What are we going to do now? Who's going to bring these great players? Who's going to build this roster? Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's worried about the players that are coming in because everybody knew that once Messi got here, Chris Henderson no longer really was in the driver's seat, right? It was Tata, possibly Messi, I don't know. Sanlehi when he finally showed up. So nobody really was worried about the players. Everybody is just worried about the rules and the money. And I got to tell you, it's worrisome that people really believe that you can't find somebody that is smart enough to deal with money and to figure out how to work rules. Like, I understand that Chris Henderson did it for a while, but I'm sure whatever contract Sanlehi's getting, he should be, if he's getting paid enough money, he should be able to count a couple numbers and figure out these rules and make them work. Like, this shouldn't be that serious.
Well, I mean, Steve Munoz is in agreement with you. He's saying here there's a group of people that can guide the Barca guy now in charge. Henderson was a huge asset, no doubt, but I don't think he'll be that much of a loss. I mean, look, I don't think that –
I don't want to disparage the Chris Henderson name. I think he's great, and I think he did a great job before Messi got here. But Jesus Christ, nobody's talking about, oh my God, who's going to bring these players? Who's going to find these gems that Chris Henderson? Nobody's saying this. Everybody's like, oh my God, but what are we going to do now about the MLS rules? Really? I promise you, if you pay me, make that my job. I promise you I'll figure it out.
But now the thing is, Danny, like, I mean, look, this is short term, right? This is a short-sighted move here. Like at this point, there's no looking past the next 2 years. It's this year, next year. I mean, I'm actually kind of afraid after these next 2 years. Like, are we going to have a new coach? Are we going to have a new Sanlehi? Are we going to have a new ownership?
Why are you worried about that?
Well, because I feel like a lot of the moves that are being made, which is great, are being made from what feels like a short-term perspective, right? We're all in on the whole Messi deal with Suarez and Busquets and Alba. They're not going to be here in 2 years. This is like win now or win next year, this coming year or the next year, right? Same thing with the coach.
That's how all of sports is, though. Like, the only teams that are thinking about the future are the teams that have no chance to compete right now. Like, for example, and I'll go back to the NBA, right? Because I root for horrible teams. The Brooklyn Nets. All Brooklyn Nets fans are thinking about the future because there is no present. But if you have a present, what are you worried about 3 years from now? For the next 2 years, we have Messi, possibly in friends, and possibly more friends coming. Why are you worried about post-Messi right now? I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about 2025 and maybe 2026. But 2025 is what I'm worried about. So who cares who the coach is after Mascherano leaves? Who cares who the 10 is after Messi, whenever he retires? Like, I'm not worried about that. Let's worry about right now. And right now, and again, I don't want to disparage Chris Henderson's name. He did a good job. But I don't think that for this coming season that we're going to take a huge hit because Chris Henderson isn't here.
I'm not telling you that we're going to take a huge hit because obviously we have some of the greatest players of all time playing on this team. On top of that, this coach, all he has to do is just not fuck things up. So just don't fuck it up. Like, there's nothing he can do his job half-ass and do a good job.
I don't even. I'm curious to see what Chris Henderson does in Atlanta, just because he has money to work with now. Because they got big pockets.
It's gonna be great.
Is it though?
I think it's gonna be fantastic for him.
We haven't seen Chris Henderson with a lot of money. In Seattle, he didn't have a lot of money to work with. In Miami, he was working with sanctions. And he never got to spend Mas's money because once we got out of the sanctions, Messi showed up and then he was done. Like, at what point, and I'm not saying that he can't, right? But the thing with Chris Henderson was that he knows the MLS guys. He can bring in a Kamal Miller. He'll bring in a Pozuelo. But what is he going to do with the money? I'm curious. I'm not saying that he won't do anything great. Maybe he will. But back to Miami, I don't think it's a huge loss as people are making it out to be. No disrespect to him. Just talking about upcoming 2025, I don't think that we're going to suffer because Chris Henderson is no longer here.
He's got Home Depot money to play with, Danny. I think he'll be more than good.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But what's he going to do? Bring in the biggest MLS names?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to work out for him better than what you anticipate. I think he could be able to land a Pozuelo or a couple Pozuelos.
I'm not expecting him to fail. He has money to work with. I'm expecting him to succeed. But again, going back to Miami, 2025, I don't think it's that big of an impact. Everybody keeps throwing out like, oh my God, but what are we going to do about the money? What are we going to do about the MLS rules? The MLS rules are so complicated. Make that my full-time job. I promise you I can figure this shit out.
I'm pretty sure that it's easy to figure out, especially if somebody's got like some sort of an Excel spreadsheet saved from Chris Henderson's computer, because that's what he was working off, right? Mm-hmm. Excel spreadsheet, or you think he had like an actual statistical binder that he was like running all these numbers on? Is he like Albert Einstein with the math?
Oh, apparently, over the last year, right? Everybody, the whole rumor that he lost his office and whatnot. We don't know what his actual capability was, but I'm at a loss. I really don't know what to say as far as Chris Henderson's like over the last year. Like, you would figure that he got with Sanlehi, right? And he was getting paid by Miami. You don't think that over the last year he might have like taught Sanlehi a thing or two? Like, hey, here are how these rules work.
I mean, maybe, but look at what Stancy's saying here. Franco Panizo apparently posted on X that this lady, Megan Cameron, is the one that oversees roster regulation and rules, so maybe we're okay. This is the first time I've ever heard of a Megan Cameron. Who is she? And is she qualified to know the math and how it maths?
I don't know who this person is. I'm gonna take Stancy's word for it, and I don't mean this to belittle what she does. What I'm saying is that you get anybody. Okay, I'm sorry, not anybody, but you get most people make that their full-time job. If they're capable with numbers, they can figure it out. So it's not that serious. And Pace Hunter saying Power BI. I use Power BI at my job, but it's not that serious. Like, I'm sorry.
Well, it's pretty official. She has a LinkedIn profile. And if you got a LinkedIn profile with director, player personnel, and compliance at Inter Miami CF, then that means it's pretty official, right?
There you go.
I mean, she went to Rutgers, or did she manage Rutgers? What did she do? What assistant? Her last experience was assistant director, player personnel for Sporting KC from 2017 to 2021. She was a manager of player relations for the MLS for 7 years.
So what you're saying is that we should be okay as far as compliance goes, right? That's what you're saying?
I mean, she worked inside sales with DC United in 2005. So what you're telling me is she was like a salesman that like moved up the ranks to being the new Henderson? Is that what it takes? Are there any openings as a salesman at Inter Miami CF so I can make it up the ranks and be the next Hendo for a team?
Do you trust yourself with numbers?
I do.
Okay. Well, like I said, if you pay somebody for this to be your full-time job, not taking any credit away from her. I'm sure she's great at what she does, and I'm sure it took her a while to learn it. But if you make it your full-time job, I'm sure somebody can figure it out. So, I don't think it's that big a loss. I think there will be people there that can figure the thing out. And Tank is here talking caca, saying there is no other Henderson, Danny. No hables papas. Well, Tank, again, I'm not trying to discredit Chris Henderson, but what has he done since Messi's got here that you would say, like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Chris Henderson isn't here. I like Chris Henderson. I think he's a great GM. I think he did great before Messi got here. But what are we losing in 2025?
I don't think that people are afraid of what we're losing in 2025. And before I finish answering the question, Don Cavecito saying there's also people like lawyers that can assist. No, lawyers don't care about any of that. They just come in and they represent, and then they ask whatever general things they need to know for whatever it is that they're covering. They're not getting into the nooks and crannies. But I don't think people are I don't think people are afraid of 2025 or 2026. I feel like the fan base is probably afraid of what's going to happen in the long term.
And Tank is asking, what was he allowed to do? Apparently nothing, Tank. And we still had a great squad. So that is my point, Tank. What are we losing? I think Chris Henderson technically left us a year and a half ago.
Oh my gosh.
He's officially not in the building anymore. But since Messi arrived, that's it. What has he done? Tata took over player personnel probably after that. Like, what are we losing?
I want to mention Rick A says a ton of attorneys do regulatory compliance. Listen, I work in compliance, and I've spoken to attorneys, and they come to my field and have no idea of compliance or details. They just want to get the gist. They'll dive into whatever they need to sort of poke holes into any sort of testimony.
we would be talking about a different level of attorney when we're talking about major sports franchises, though, Chris.
Okay, so I guess transportation isn't as important as Major League Soccer in the United States of America. I guess. I don't know.
The money isn't the same, that's for sure. And Tank here is saying, don't forget all the trades he made for international spots. Tank, Philadelphia just got a bunch of GAM money by trading away their draft. Like, people make trades. I'm not saying Chris Henderson isn't good at what he does. I'm saying that in the coming years, he wasn't going to make a difference. Like, we're not all of a sudden doomed because he's not here.
You're not blacklisted, Esteban Dito, I promise.
So yeah, and then the team that Inter Miami wants to build with those South American influence in the coming years, I don't know if Chris Henderson was the guy for that either.
Look, like I said, I don't think this is a bad move. I feel like Sanlehi is coming with a plan. I feel like the Moss brothers.
I'm not saying I like Sanlehi. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm not. But I'm saying, at least for now, I feel like
Oh.
there's a plan behind the acquisition of Sanlehi. I feel like there's something brewing there that's going to benefit this team this year, if not next. Right. So I feel like there is something there that's gonna be good and positive for this team. Right. As far as managing the numbers are concerned, I feel like I don't want to say it's fairly simple, but I feel like there is something there that somebody can be able to kind of follow the numbers and make it work. I'm just wondering what's going to happen 3 years plus down the line, right? Maybe it's just a little too much futuristic thinking, but it is something that a lot of people are worried about, you know?
Look, there's no guarantee that in 3 years he would have wanted to stay. A lot of time when people have success, they have success and they're like, all right, time for my next challenge. We're thinking about next year, man. Next year, maybe 2 years from now, but you can't be thinking about what's happening post-Messi. Post-Messi, you know what's going to happen? We're going to get, at least what Jorge Mas wants to do is bring other big names. Yeah. So let's just worry about the now. And again, and I can't say this enough because I think I've said it like a million times already. I'm not trying to disparage what Chris Henderson does or how good he is at his job. I'm just saying for this team in 2025, him not being here isn't going to be something that all of a sudden we're like, oh, we're failing because Chris Henderson isn't here. That I promise you, that's not happening. That's not happening next year.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it works out.
Now, Sanlehi, the used car salesman. I'm not a fan of his either. For no other reason that I don't like the way he looks. I think he gives me the used car salesman look. Maybe I'll be wrong. Who knows? The only thing that I know about him is that he was the reason that Neymar went to Barcelona. He spent all that time with him. And when he left Barcelona, so the Neymar, or Neymar left and then he left. I know they both left basically at the same time. So I don't think much of this guy. And it wasn't that he went to Arsenal afterwards, and everybody in Arsenal hates him also. Not the best track record. We'll see what happens. I thought that he was here for one of the reasons was to make sure that we got Neymar here. So
Sean is panicking. Sean is in a full-blown panic right now. And I'm kind of next to him. Promise you, sanctions are in the future. We're going to be having mascots at the Bright Line any minute now, guys.
So you think that because Chris Henderson's gone, all of a sudden we won't be able to be
We lost the Einstein. It's not going to work out. Was he, Danny? What? Are you really questioning it? You literally made a shirt of Chris Henderson cooking with Monopoly money. And you're going to ask, was he? I mean, come on.
Was he? I don't know. It's not that serious, man.
So what? Did he have a puppet behind him?
There's 29 teams in the league. There's 29 teams in the league. How many are falling into sanctions on a yearly basis?
Well, I mean, how many of them are making like huge, big moves?
Atlanta, LAFC, the Galaxy, plenty of them. NYCFC, I can keep naming them. Like, there's other teams that spend money. Not everybody's all of a sudden getting hit with sanctions. Paul McDonough was an idiot. That's it.
All right, I guess. I mean, if we're just going to tally it up to Paul McDonough being a bobo, then I guess.
No. We got plenty of teams spending money. Atlanta spent a lot of money. All the LA teams spend a lot of money. I don't know.
I mean, I guess that's that. Like, at this point, it's already done. He's on an airplane straight to ATL. He's probably got an office waiting there. He hasn't had an office in months. Finally has his own space.
Look at what he did in Seattle. This is Tank's comment. Look at what he did in Seattle. It is that serious. I bet Atlanta became. And did we become bottom five, Tank? Did we become bottom five? Again, my point is next year, what the fuck does that matter? It wasn't going to change anything for us, Tank. We're still the same. He didn't do anything for us last season. He's not going to do anything for us next season.
It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter next year. Mike V with a dime here. Taylor to ATL incoming. That was Danny's comment. Yeah, somebody had mentioned that earlier. Taylor and Campana heading over to ATL. That's and they need strikers. Whoa.
What I'm surprised is that Chris Henderson went to Atlanta with Garth Largaway there because, well, at least I had heard somewhere that he wanted to get out of Garth Largaway's shadow in Seattle, and then he went right back under it over there in Atlanta. Now, I don't know if that was accurate what I had heard or not, but I guess it wasn't accurate, right? Because he went over there. But
I mean, he's going over there. Look, business is business. I feel like at some point they're going to figure it out. There's going to be just Chris Henderson is going to walk in. And Arthur Blank is going to bring in a forklift from Home Depot full of just bags of money and just throw it on there and be like, do as you wish. Here's the Home Depot money.
I got one last question for Tank. He says, we'll see what the team looks like as a whole. Got to trade or sell one more keeper and start over. My last question about this for Tank, at least. Tank, hypothetically, let's say Chris Henderson was still getting paid by Inter Miami and we made the trade or signed somebody from South America probably. Do you think it would be Chris Henderson's decision who we're bringing in? Because I don't. I think it would be Mascherano. I think it would be Sanllehi. Even if Chris Henderson wasn't in Atlanta right now and he would have stayed on just the way he was this past year, he wouldn't be the one making the moves this upcoming season, or at least not this offseason. And I believe that. That's not a fact. I don't know. That's just me from what I've heard from other places and other reporters. So what are we really missing right now, right? I'm not saying in the future. It would have been great to have him post-Messi. But right now, what are we really missing? All right. And
Sorry,
then
I'm just Googling UFOs near me. Sorry.
All right. And Caesar's saying, so basically Danny's saying Inter Miami is now too big of a club to care if Henderson is gone or not. No, what I'm saying is that they stopped allowing Chris Henderson to make the moves 18 months ago. So it's not that they're too big for Chris Henderson, but it's that they weren't taking his input. From my understanding, they weren't taking his input anyway. So it won't have an effect because he wasn't making decisions this past season and he wasn't going to be making decisions this upcoming season. That's what I'm saying. Chris Henderson, great dude. And I'm sure that he would do fine if they would have allowed him to, but they weren't. So, all right.
They're going to be fine. No, I mean, they're going to be fine the next 2 years. I get that. Let's have this conversation back in 2026 and we'll see how it's working out by then.
Yeah. All right. What do you want to touch about next?
Well, shout out to If You Want to Feel. Hello. And for those of you that are new, wave and say hello. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
If you want to feel.
If you want to feel, listen, I mean, that's what he chose and that's what he or she chose and that's what they chose. So I guess the next thing we could talk about, because you sent over a sort of a show sheet, we could talk about the little season ticket holder event that was placed yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday there was a season ticket holder event at Chase Stadium.
So let me read straight from the announcement, right? So drills on the pitch were one of the perks, right? Show off your skills or learn something new with our soccer drills, right? Mm-hmm. Crossbar challenge, be able to take a PK on the pitch. Holiday themed photos in the locker room, capture the festive spirit in our team locker room. And then FIFA video games, challenge fellow members to a match and show off your gaming skills and more. Now, this email, okay, apparently was sent out, I'd say over a week ago. No? Mm-hmm. The email was actually sent out over on the 6th of December. So it's been a total of 9-10 days until the event took place. Ash is asking, was it eventful? Right now, I uploaded a couple of pictures.
Well, it was labeled as a holiday event on the most recent email that they sent us, which is why I wanted to take the kids the most.
Yeah. Now, the whole idea of this was, at first, it was portrayed as a season ticket member sort of event, right? But then people who did not have season tickets, who are interested in season tickets, prospective season ticket members, were allowed to go as well. Okay, that's interesting, right? And then you get there, right? You RSVP a certain amount of people. If you have 2 tickets, you could RSVP like 10. But only 2 of you, I thought, were able to do all the exclusive on the pitch stuff, holiday locker rooms, Santa Claus is waiting for you at Messi's locker. and everybody gets a band. That band, for those of you watching on YouTube, that band that Danny is wearing, which I'm actually surprised you still have it on, probably because you can't take it off.
Yeah, no, and I was trying to figure out how to get it off without cutting it off. I took a shower.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you how to take it off later. So just keep it on, and I'll tell you how to take it off later. But apparently, like I said, you are not just you weren't going there as a special person. If you were interested, you're going to be there too. So I took a couple pictures of the event. And so this was us entering into the locker room. This was my son and my daughter. We were walking up to the locker room. As you can see, there's a line there to get into the locker room. And I mean, once we got into the locker room, we were able to walk around it. I don't have any good pictures in the locker room. This is probably the best one. Luckily, we were able to meet a couple players. So the two players that were there, for those of you that are on audio, it was Israel Boatwright, and I think it's Tyler Hall. Yeah, Tyler Hall was out there, so they were hanging out, I guess. Boatwright was outside at first. Tyler Hall was in the locker room, and then they both went into the locker room later on. So first of all, before I keep going with the pictures, Danny, how did you, or should I go through the pictures and then we'll go over what we thought?
Go for it. We'll finish with the pictures.
Yeah.
So it does look like a little like Mbappe. Boatwright does look like Mbappe.
Yeah. So here we have a picture from one side of the goal where everybody was sort of taking their PKs. It was just a free-for-all, really. Like, there was no line. They just had like 4 or 5 balls. That person in the goalie is probably like 5'6", right? So there was no professional goalie or anything like that. It was just some rando bando that was just sitting there in goal. And here I got another picture of a couple kids that were kind of playing with the smaller goals throughout the pitch. Another picture just showing the field with a couple other goals. More pictures sort of where the big group was, where they were taking the PKs. And I mean, other than that, I mean, from the pictures you can see here, I mean, you see a bunch of little goals. This is just of our seats. I wanted to take that picture. I thought it was cool, from the perspective of the player. I thought it was dope. So those are the pictures that I have, at least that I was able to upload before starting the show. Any of you in the chat that went, let us know what you thought of it, because we have our opinions. Because Ash is asking, was it eventful?
What do you think, Chris?
Well, and yes, Mr. Krabs, my son is a Mbappe fan, and I it was very underwhelming. Our ticket rep called me today, asked me how it was, and I told him straight up it was underwhelming. Right, as you could see, like in the email, they said that the locker room was going to be holiday festive. It was literally just 4 jerseys: Messi, Suarez, Busquets, and Alba, just within 4 lockers. You basically make a circle around the locker room, take your little picture in front of the Messi jersey, because I mean nobody's taking another picture anywhere else. And other than that, I mean, they put a couple goals on the pitch. There was no training. What was it? The goal, the email
drills.
said that there was like drills. Like, there were no drills. At the same time, like towards like right before we left at around like 1 o'clock, I saw salespeople pitching tickets and taking people on tours.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people going on tours in like the actual aisles and stuff to take a look at the seats.
And it's sad because I felt like they used the event to be like, look at all these happy, season ticket fans, right? They're season ticket holders. You could be happy too. Get season tickets. It's like they got okie doked.
When they said a holiday event, I thought I was going to walk in to gate 3 or gate 2, and there was going to be like a huge tree, like a pink tree or a green tree decorated with like Inter Miami stuff. Nothing holiday related throughout the event. Nothing. Yeah. There were no giveaways that I could think of outside of this, I guess.
Oh, You know what? No, there was actually, and I actually have it here. Shout out to Florida Blue because they always come through in the clutch.
Yeah, but you have to sign up for that stupid thing.
Yeah, I mean, but I have a screenshot. I cheat. So here's the towel, Florida Blue, right? Here's your little towel. It looks kind of like a fucking bib, right? You get your little crappy towel from Florida Blue, and then you get a little sort of soccer ball here, right? Check that out with the Inter Miami logo. And in case you guys are interested in insurance, Florida Blue, little foam one. And now this is probably the only thing that I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And this is one of those like little back holders, I guess, for your phone. So you could fit a card in here. That I thought was cool. Because then it just snaps on the back of your phone, and then you can be able to kind of use it to hold debit cards or your ID or whatever the case is. That was really cool. And like Danny said, you have to sign up for it, so you could be able to sign up for, I don't know, propaganda through your what's it called, through your email. So this was probably the coolest thing, this little giveaway here, and then you have this soccer ball. But other than that, like, the team didn't give away anything. There was no giveaway other than that bracelet that Danny had. Danny just disappeared out of nowhere, but he'll be back in a moment. So Francisco is bringing up a good comment. Good to see where the Messi money is going. And Esteban Dito saying that is what you call the typical switcheroo deceiving promotion. Honestly, the way that I felt that it was going and the way that the event went, I felt like it was a little deceitful. My rep said, well, this was all last minute, so on and so forth, but literally had 9 days to plan. You couldn't put Christmas lights anywhere on this festive holiday. You had to recruit prospective ticket holders during this private event for season ticket members. I felt like that was kind of a shady ploy to like bring in new people.
I feel like I don't like ever questioning somebody's job, right? Because I don't know, whatever. Just I try not to. But I feel like you should be able to hire somebody that can plan a simple event.
Yeah.
Like, get a tree, get a couple stupid ornaments, put them throughout the stadium, give away a couple little fucking handheld soccer balls. Like, have somebody put some cones out there so the kids can run around, do simple drills. Like, it really, I feel like they don't put forth effort.
No.
And what bothers me, I think, is that I think it would have been better for them not to make this event. Now, obviously, they did it, I guess, so they can try to attract other people. But, like, if you're going to do an event where it's apparent that you did the bare minimum, just don't do the event. Like, I think that's ultimately what it is. And don't get me wrong. I got to go on the pitch. I was kicking the ball around. I would have stayed there all day. Like, give me a ball and a pitch, and I'm happy. But just, like, taking a step back and just thinking about the event as a whole, like, just don't do it. Like, because it looks so much worse when it's blatantly obvious. Like, what did they do? This is literally what they did. They opened the gates. They opened the locker room.
Put a couple jerseys in the locker room. That's it.
I guess. And that is it.
And put goals. They put extra goals on the pitch.
That was the extent of the effort. There was no effort at all. It is unlock the gate, let them walk in, open up the locker room, let them walk in, let them walk to the pitch, and throw a couple soccer balls out there. That was it. That was the effort. Just don't fucking do it. Just don't make me waste an hour driving to you. And then there was an accident, so it was even longer than an hour. Like, just don't waste my time, because that's where it's annoying. Like, when it's that obvious that there was no effort put, just don't do it.
Well, and there was a huge accident going back to Miami.
Yeah, both ways. It was a pain. It was a horrible drive both ways.
And on top of that, how much do you think it would have cost Inter Miami? Because I'd say maybe like 400 people showed up to this. How much money do you think it would have cost the Inter Miami to make an ornament like this? It's a Christmas themed
that's
thing.
cool. Where'd you get that?
Well, this was one of the items that Florida Blue gave away
Florida
for
Blue.
signing up for their insurance. But I mean, it has a logo. Like I said, how much would it have cost Inter Miami to make 500 ornaments for a Christmas themed season ticket holder event? This is like I was telling our rep, these are the people that have been invested in this team, most of them, before Messi. And they're coming here, and you want to show a little bit of your investment, give them a fucking ornament in a Christmas themed event.
I don't want to spend too much time talking about this event because they didn't put a lot of effort in it and they didn't even really promote it much. It went out to season ticket holders, even though my brother's a season ticket holder and he didn't get the email. Like it was just poorly done from top to bottom, but I don't want to bore people with it. It's obvious that they don't put forth effort and that's fine. They don't put forth effort and because they know that people are going to keep coming to watch. So
Mike V is upset and we know a couple of people that are upset. Mike V says, I didn't even know about the event because my rep sucks. I miss Hunter.
Mm-hmm. All right, next topic, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, look, the first preseason game, Danny. First preseason game. It's finally official. We finally have a game coming up. And what? It's in Las Vegas?
Yep. We are officially 33 days away from getting back, watching the Inter Miami Herons back on the pitch in Las Vegas against Club America. So that should be fun because Club America, I believe, won the championship for Liga MX just this past weekend. So we're playing against the champions of Mexico. So it should be an awesome game, an awesome event, an awesome atmosphere. And we'll see. I don't think that any team in North America will destroy Inter Miami. So we'll see, though.
I mean, look, Vice City is saying Club America will destroy this team.
Mr. Krabs says MLS has such a short offseason. I don't think it's that short.
No, it's not that short, Mr. Krabs.
We had 2 months off.
Yeah.
If you think about, say, Europe, for example, they end at the end of May. They have June off if they don't play international games. And then towards the end of July, they're already playing friendlies in the United States or wherever they're playing their preseason. So MLS might actually have a longer offseason than most other countries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that well, I mean, look, we have a longer offseason, but I mean, I think that we're going to benefit off of it. I don't think we're going to get clobbered by Club America.
Mm-hmm. Look, and Francisco said Colombia ends next Wednesday and begins the last week of January. Yeah.
Oof.
So most off seasons aren't very long. So MLS actually has one of the longer ones, and if you get eliminated early, like we did, it's even longer.
Yeah, it's like Mike V saying, it's a long off season for sure. I mean, but it's good, man. I mean, we have a lot of games coming up.
Well, compared to last year's preseason, this should be a lot better because, I mean, they have that stupid game on Valentine's Day. Like, who the hell is going to go to that thing?
Is that the one? That's the one against Orlando and Tampa?
Yeah.
Who the hell's going to go to Tampa?
I don't know why they did that. What's the point of making us on Valentine's Day? Because that's the worst part, that if they put it on Valentine's Day, gonna go ahead. Maybe people from Orlando might go, even though I've talked to a few people from Orlando, and they're like, "Why? No, I'm not driving an hour that way to go to this game.
An hour and a half. It's not bad.
What's the point? But what's the point of going for a preseason game that you're gonna watch them play in the regular season, probably a couple weeks later?
Yes, that's true. And then you're paying extra money.
But now the stadium's a lot bigger, so the view's probably worse.
Yeah. Well, look at what Hash is asking. This is a good question here. It is a preseason at the end of the day. Why take it seriously? My question to you, Danny, is are you going to take this sort of preseason a little serious, considering we have a new coach? We're going to have some players coming back, like Facundo Farias. We're going to have a couple new players. No? Just,
I mean, I'm gonna watch it, right? And we're gonna break
yeah.
it down here on the show. But look, what happened during this preseason? Everybody thought that
No,
the
but
world
come
was
on.
falling. Everybody's
Yeah,
like,
but
"Oh, the world is falling. The world is falling. Oh my God, no winning culture. Oh my God." Shout out to Mike Longan. Oh my God. And what happened? We ended up with the supporter shield. Like, it's not that serious.
Yeah, but it was pretty bad when it happened, Danny. You can't lie about that. Like the
No,
world
it
was legitimately imploding at the moment.
The worst part of the preseason was when Messi didn't play in that I forgot who, I guess, was it Hong Kong? All of a sudden that his cardboard cutout got his head kicked off. That was probably the highlight and low light of that. I mean, I guess losing 6-0, but we kind of figured that was going to happen.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Pretty tough.
And
but I mean, we got over it.
And Tank saying that the season was a disaster. I don't remember. He's saying that it was a failure from the beginning. I don't remember Tank. I don't remember Tank coming on here after beating Orlando 5-0 and saying, like, what a disaster of a season this is right now. Were you saying that after we beat Orlando 5-0 and we started the season 2 wins, 1 draw? Is that what you were saying, Tank? I don't think so.
No, I don't remember that either.
I don't know. So I don't think that it started that bad.
Well, and we're not world touring this year. So
no.
I think you're a little drastic here, Tank.
Yeah, they learned the lesson from that long, stupid tour. And we'll see.
Yeah, all Tank. Right. That was a tough take. People are asking us to rail on you. That was a tough take.
You know what I am gonna do though?
Oh my God! And Dito is on his side. Come on, Esteban. What are we doing?
The world tour was a failure, Tank. That is 100% true. Starting January 1st, I'm gonna put aside, and I'm gonna just start writing bad takes. Right. So next year when we're giving out, shout out to who was it? Was it Mike V? That said baddies. When we're giving out the baddies at the end of next year, I'm just gonna make sure that I write down whenever. Was a Florida man? Shout out to Florida man. Whenever I see or hear a bad take from you or anybody, I'm gonna write it down, and then we're gonna go through these and choose what are the nominees at the end of the year, so that we could keep track of them. Because a week ago we were talking about it, and I was like, damn, I can't remember some of those bad takes, but I'm sure that there were tons. We're gonna keep track of it throughout the season.
Look at that. We just started off with you, Tank. You started us off this year. Good job.
No, 2025. You're allowed to give some bad takes right now. It starts in 2025.
You have a 2-week span of giving bad, terrible takes, garbage takes, Tank.
And Leonardo said that even Messi said that the traveling messed up his preseason. Okay. But when the season started, they got off to a pretty good start. They won 2 of the first 3 games, and they beat what was supposed to be the Supporter Shield favorites in Orlando 5-0. Nobody was talking about how horrible it was after that. You know, things fell apart eventually, in the Champions Cup, because after that we ended up eliminating Nashville from Champions Cup. Everybody was like, damn, this team looks pretty good. Everybody forgot about the preseason. So I understand what you're saying, but it wasn't a bad start to the year, because the games that counted started pretty well.
This is how we got to do it, Danny. A terrible take tournament where we have all the takes in a tournament bracket and just have people vote to see who moves forward in the finals.
No, we're going to start. We're going to start January 1st. We're going to start writing them all down. And we're going to have brackets. Next year, we should just do brackets and have everybody vote on the brackets.
And you get number 1 seed, because Rick A is mentioning a fact. Worst take should be not liking Die Hard after not watching the whole movie.
It's not a good movie.
You didn't watch the whole thing. You're terrible.
So you think that because I didn't watch the last,
you don't qualify. You don't qualify. You literally
the first hour is horrible.
Part.
Well, let me guess. He shoots more people. The bad guy dies, and then he walks off at the end of the movie.
Yeah, but where does he walk off to? How does he walk off? All of that matters. Those are critical questions there, Danny.
This is why action movies are so stupid. They're all the same. Pow, pow, pow. Bad guy down. And then it's over. That's it.
And you hate Charlie Brown.
No, it is boring as hell.
Yeah.
No.
Let's talk new kid, Danny. New kid.
All right. So one thing that we did get to see, which is probably another reason why they opened the stadium, try to get people out there so they can buy the kit. They had the new kit on sale, on display on a mannequin, and they had it on sale. Chris went ahead and he was gifted one because everybody loves Chris. All right, so go ahead and Chris, what do you think of the new? I loved it. I saw it in person. I thought I liked it. In person, looks even better. So I am a big fan of the new kit. I think it's the best away kit we've had since our beginning.
And shout out, I forgot to mention this. I met Craig and Brian. They came out and hung out with me in the season ticket member event. Shout out to you guys and Craig. Thank you so much for supporting the show. And Craig's wife and family, they ended up getting Ben Creme shirts off of Batter Fans. So guys, nice. Shop down low. See that? BatterFans.com. Get your Ben Creme merch. Get whatever merch, Christmas, whatever you got going on. But I'll show you.
Did Craig buy you the kit?
No, Craig didn't buy me the kit. Creep. So here is the kit here, right? I'm a little bit further from the microphone. Let's see. So as you can see, it's like split in the middle. I like the fabric. It's not as like, it feels a little thicker. Yeah, I do have the authentic. I got my son the replica. So it's
fucked up.
Someone said that it's like the new old boys jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't looked at it. Is that true?
Just because it's cut down the middle in two colors.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's got the whole freaking, what's it called? What is this? Authentic licensed product here to show that it's like real or whatever.
Somebody suggested that the reason that that authentic thing on the bottom right is in gold is because they thought that we would have a gold star on top of our emblem when this
no way.
No, that was them just talking shit. That's them talking shit, but I thought that was interesting. I doubt that.
It's got this the Miami logo here, right? I don't know if you could take a look at it right there. Yeah, it's kind of like etched on there. And then this is, I like the patch. It feels nice. It's got this Adidas sort of logo on here.
Did you get Robert Taylor on the back?
No, it's got nobody on the back. I didn't want nobody. And if I do, I'll customize it. It does have the freedom to dream over here in the back of it. So that's obviously a nice touch, typical. And then here you have obviously the MLS logo with the Apple TV on the left sleeve. And then on the right sleeve, you have Fract Group.
Chris got the authentic to flex on his own son.
Listen,
I'm seeing a couple people are saying that the authentic has an awful fit. That somebody else said that the replica has a better fit.
It actually, I do agree. This authentic fits tighter than other authentics have. Like this authentic fits tighter than this one. And this is Las Palmas.
I wonder why that is.
Okay. So this one does fit a little tighter. It fits a little tighter than the pink. I know I've gained a couple LBs, but if I could fit in this one, it should fit the same. But this one fits a little tighter, not too much. I don't know how the replica fits. But you know what? I've noticed that with some kits that the replica is a little more comfortable. Yeah, authentic is for fit people, Stancy. Thank you. Much appreciated. I am not fit. I am a husky individual. That is correct. So I will need to get fit in order to fit comfortably in this. Yes. While Danny just hysterically laughs at my unfitness. Good job, buddy. I'm just going to go eat myself to sleep later. Thank you. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. It does have a schmedium fit, Dennis. Schmedium is my size. I did not buy the wrong size jersey. The wrong size jersey bought me, Mr. Krabs.
Oh, man. That was a good laugh. I don't laugh very much. That was a good laugh. Thank you, Stancy. Was it Stancy?
Yeah, you're soulless, so it's a good
I,
thing that
I am.
he was able to make you laugh.
I am. I told my wife, I wish I could cry more and laugh more because I don't do either one of those very much. I'll chuckle. Right? I'm sure you guys hear me chuckle all the time, but like a genuine laugh, like I just had now, that happens like once a year. That was fun.
Listen, I am a husky individual, so yes, I am husky, Rick.
Mm. All right, Danny is a sociopath. I think maybe. I've look, and this is a serious conversation I've had with my wife. I'm like, I don't cry enough, and I don't laugh enough. I'll chuckle, but like, my wife has like a genuine laugh. Like when she laughs, like she like looks like she's having the time of her life. I'm like, man, I'm jealous. I wish I could laugh like that. I never get like those really good laughs, like where you just can't come up for breath. Those don't happen very often, but that was fun. Thank you, Stancy.
Yeah, I mean, if I say, look at Sammy, I'm flexing on my son. Meanwhile, my son got the kid that actually fits well.
That's true.
I guess I'm gonna have to return my kid or give it to somebody else because I'm not fit for my kid.
Was there anything else? I think that was it, right? I think as far as topics go, I think that might have been it. Let's see.
I mean, other than that, I wanted to talk about aliens.
Oh, that's right. That's right. There we go.
I don't know if there's anything else that was like important in the soccer related world.
No, I think this is a pretty bad episode. I feel like it's been really off, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You don't
Has
feel
the
like
episode been off, chat? Has the episode been off?
This has been like an episode.
Look at this. Already starting to talk about it. Saga Daddy brought it up. Drones, zombie aliens. I mean, are you not aware, Dennis Lopez? El Bigote, 80 people, 20 likes. Let's go, guys. Step it up. Step it up.
Chris told me that that he wanted to talk about aliens today. I had no idea why. He started talking about it. I was like, you know what? Just tell me during the show. But I kind of just like lose myself in sports because the real world is so horrible that I kind of just lose myself in sports. So when there's like weird stories like this, I usually don't catch up on them immediately. It usually takes a while for me to find out. So go ahead, Chris. Let me know, what is this alien stuff that you wanted to talk about?
And Dennis Lopez, you're on the money. Chat, come on, you guys are embarrassing. Like the video, guys. It's literally just a scroll up and a thumbs up. Okay. So El Bigote is mentioning here, my wife is infatuated with them, Chris. She bought binoculars
But
tonight.
with what? With what?
Aliens live underwater and are now flying over New Jersey. So
I keep hearing about drones over New Jersey. That's what I keep hearing about.
So New Jersey's getting attacked right now. Full-fledged attack mode. Okay, Danny? Like, okay. Look it up. New Jersey right now, in Trenton, New Jersey, a large number of mysterious drones have been reportedly flying over New Jersey. And like a large number, Danny. These guys are coming in like full-fledged frontal attack. Okay? And they're literally just going to come and attack us. Okay? On top of that, if you do some more research, just a couple days ago, the Pentagon reported on UFOs, including hundreds of new incidents, but no evidence of aliens. You think that they're going to reveal aliens to us? It's already too much that they're revealing that there's UFOs. Look at this. Tang is saying the drones have been all over. Look at this. Steve Munoz, the government announced that aliens exist. I ended up doing this. I ended up talking about this in our group chat with me, you, Solana, and Xavier. Xavier doesn't even know what's going on. He's already getting probed as we speak.
Okay. What do you think is coming out of this? Like, do you think it's real aliens that are like about to attack or what?
Oh, for sure. I mean, listen, Danny, I've been telling you that aliens have been amongst us for like, I'd say like 60, 70 years, maybe more. Like 60, 70 years we've been getting attacked by aliens. They've just been doing it in the silence. It's like what Don just said. They're sleeping underwater and now they're coming up and they're going to attack us. Look at this. Bigote saying they're in Atlanta too.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen any of this. Is this even something worth like worrying about?
What? So you're not worried about aliens, Danny? You're not worried about the possibility of an alien invasion? You're not prepared for this. You're not prepared.
Are you gonna tell me that you have a plan like you had for the zombies? What are you gonna do? You're gonna blow up another bridge without any dynamite?
No, I mean, look, I know where to find the dynamite, and I'll keep that to myself. You're welcome. Okay. Thank you very much, and you're welcome. But when it comes to the aliens, I do have a plan. It's not full-fledged, but I do have a plan. I'll leave that for another day for us to talk about the plan. I'm just telling you. And Pablo saying, Danny will make alien
100%. Absolutely.
Marisol is saying that we could build a wall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think walls are going to be holding back aliens, even though I know
Aren't they coming from above?
You did there. I know. Yeah, they are coming from above.
Oh, I see what he did there.
I see what he did. Yes, come on. He did the double
entendre. Yeah, I got you. All right.
Yeah. Or we could just fight them off with my medium shirts. So I'm gonna fight them off with my authentic jersey. Yes, Mike V. Draped.
Now, if I get one, I don't know what size I should get.
Probably get a size over, maybe.
I usually get a large.
Yeah, so probably get like an extra large, maybe.
Wow, that sounds really big. I guess maybe.
I mean, it is a tighter fit.
But usually soccer jerseys are tight fits. That's why I usually am a medium, but on soccer jerseys I get a large. So this was it. This was the alien talk. I thought this was going to be a lot more immersive.
I mean, look, you asked me if I had sources and stuff, and I told you I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm not going to give you sources. I'm not going to give you names. I'm not going to do all that for you.
So you just wanted to come on here and be like, they're coming, and that's it?
Yeah, I'm just warning everybody. Aliens are fucking coming, and that's it. Be ready, or else you're getting fucking probed.
Yeah, no, might as well. Like, right here. Is it too late to go back and put an episode in the worst episode category?
It's too late, and we'll have a couple more by the end of next year. So
this episode's been rough. It's been rough, but I got a good laugh out of it. So shout out to Stancy. Thank you again.
Yeah, trust me, bro.
All right, Chris, are there any final words?
Stancy, let's meet at the shopping center. Let's do it.
This week, tomorrow, at 9 o'clock, we'll be doing Better Here en Español. At 10 o'clock, I will be, I guess, debating MLS moves at 10 o'clock with his critique of the MLS growth and the Apple TV deal and everything like that. And so we'll be doing that tomorrow at 10 o'clock on the MLS show. I don't think we're going to be on here on Wednesday, but on Thursday, we'll be back. We'll be talking schedule release. So make sure that, because the schedule should release on Thursday, so that should be interesting. So make sure that you guys tune in for that, because that's always a fun episode. So we can start planning out our trips and all that other stuff, even though last year we didn't take any.
You think that aliens push or pull the probe?
What's a probe?
What do you mean, what's a probe, dude?
What's a probe?
The probe. The probe is like the little thing that they use to freaking bam.
A gun?
No. It's like a apparatus that they like do this to you, bro. Are you serious?
I am 100%. I promise you, I've heard aliens probe, but I have no idea what a probe is.
A blunt-ended surgical instrument used for exploring a wound or part of the body. And a probe, I mean, listen, the chat is just gonna annihilate you at this point. If you don't know what a probe is, ask Diddy. That's what Francisco Garcia is saying. Ask Diddy. There's your answer. Look at that. You're getting more Ask Diddy. What the diddler uses. I can't believe you don't know what a probe is. And it can also insert a tracker into your bum. Yes.
Is it what they use when they give you a colonoscopy?
I guess. I don't know. I haven't done that. Who the hell? Well, I'm not gonna do that.
I did it. You're not gonna do it?
No. I mean, do you have to do that?
At the age of 40, you should.
Why?
Because we're men and we have to get our prostates checked.
Oh no, this conversation is gonna go real bad then.
Why?
Because we're gonna talk about colonoscopies.
So you're
You
planning
just said
to
the
never get a
episode-
colonoscopy?
I mean,
This episode's already horrible. Where are we gonna go now?
Well, first of all, I feel like I should do some research into that, right?
I already had a colonoscopy done. I had it at the age of 30.
What?
Mm-hmm.
At 30 years old? What?
Yeah.
Look at Dennis Lopez is saying I need one. Like who?
Mhm.
What? You
At the
need
age of
one?
40, you're supposed to get one. Yeah.
So
Where
this
the
is
fuck where have
required.
you been?
This is a
It's not
requirement.
required. No, you're also supposed to go to the dentist at least once a year, but not everybody does it.
But then, like, why people are saying I need one?
Well, it's important. Men need to get their prostates checked. If you get prostate cancer, that's serious. Oh, Steven just said it at the age of 50. I thought it was the age of 40.
Steve, when you're saying 50 and you're over here at 30 years old at the prime of your life getting a colonoscopy. I mean, what? Stancy is saying 40 for prostate, 45 for colonoscopy. And Danny's here in the prime of his life requesting for colonoscopy.
It says 45, but whatever. 40, 45, 50.
You're crazy.
Yeah, a colonoscopy.
What? One's a dedito, or two, the other is a camera.
Mm-hmm.
A camera?
I got the camera.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's not like you feel it, man. They put you to
shivers
sleep.
on my body. What?
Yeah,
I don't
they
trust
put you to
no
sleep.
doctors. No, I'm good. I'm good. I pass on that. I'll take a hard pass on that, bro. I don't need
Really?
that in my life. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know why that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me.
You know me well enough.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I'll take a hard pass on that, and I'll go turn on my fitted jersey. Take a hard pass
Chris,
on that.
when it comes to health, Chris is like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to defy the odds. If you tell him this is the healthy way, he's like, F it, I'm gonna go the other way.
No, it's listen. Colonoscopies. I'm putting a hard line on you, buddy. Get out of here, colonoscopy. I don't know. It's a weirdo stuff. Get out of here.
Most men get it done.
Danny, I'm telling you right now, it's a hard no for me, Papa. There's no.
That's you. Like, I'm not worried about your ass. Like, hey, what you eat don't make me shit.
I mean, is it gonna what? How? I mean, what? I'm gonna be cleaning myself out?
No, yeah.
Can I just take a dump
for the last 24 hours? For the 24 hours before then, you can't eat, and you have to drink this nasty liquid. That, oh my god, it tastes disgusting. And then that makes you clear your system out, and then you go, and then you get it done. They put you to sleep. Like, I remember they made me lay on my side. I had to put my right knee across my body, and then count backwards from like 10 or something. And next thing I know, I'm waking up.
No,
Yeah.
This is. Look at the conversation we're having right now. An hour and 3 minutes into the podcast.
Well, we already announced that this is probably the worst episode that's never going to get voted on. So might as
And
well.
we're gonna finish the episode talking about where the shit
That's
comes
right.
out of.
Look, that's what happened to Black Panther. That's right.
That's what happened to Chadwick Bosworth.
Oh, and shout out to Dennis, and I hope that everything's going okay for you, Dennis.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Cancer's a motherfucker.
So yeah, man, it's important to get yourself checked.
And Nikhil, the schedule is going to be crazy. Can we talk about it? We're probably going to have an episode on Thursday to talk about the new schedule, because that's when the schedule release is coming out.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about the schedule. We're really excited about it. We did find out that the Leagues Cup will be played. There will be no stop in the season, So they're gonna get played in like on Wednesdays, I would assume. I don't know what that's gonna do to attendance. I have no idea, but they're gonna get played throughout the season, along with Champions Cup, UF Open Cup. I doubt we're part of US Opens Cup, but that's gonna be something for some teams. It's gonna be an interesting schedule. I'm really excited to see how it looks on Thursday.
I want to ask you a question before we finish the show.
Mhm.
Imagine or present something to you. Imagine like some exec right now is watching this episode from Inter Miami. They watched that we shit. They watched that we shit on their season ticket member party that they did.
I didn't shit on it. I just said to stop doing it if they're not going to put any effort in it.
We talked about how they got rid of the chef Hendo,
but I told you that it won't make a difference.
We then talked about aliens and colonoscopies. Oh, that's how we're nice.
Steve Munoz. Is this accurate, or are you just guessing?
In a week, the Inter Miami store at the airport will release the new pink kit, so it should be out soon everywhere as well. So Steve Munoz, I think if I'm not mistaken, he mentioned that he has a connect, or he knows. He
works at the airport.
Yeah, I think he works at the airport store.
Tank, do you really think Chris Henderson would have made a difference in the 2025 season? Like I'm saying it, and I'm waiting for him to respond. Like he can speak on here. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, it turned pretty dark and it turned pretty shitty, Dennis.
Yeah, but shout out to you, Dennis.
Tommy. Welcome back to the episode. We were just talking about aliens, medium shirts, and colonoscopies. Welcome. I mean, at this point.
And for all the changes they want to make, and what other people can't make those same changes. That's it. Chris Henderson's the only one. He's the only genius. He's not the one bringing in the players. You're telling me that he's the only one that can figure out the rules and how to. Come on, Tank. Let's be real. I'm not saying that Chris Henderson is bad, or that I don't wish that he would have stayed, but I don't think he's gonna. All of a sudden, we're gonna suffer in 2025 because he's not here. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've gone way too long. This is a horrible episode. I apologize for anybody that sat through this garbage for the last hour and 10 minutes. I promise you this will be much better on. I think this is the first time we have such a horrible episode without Tommy being on here. Honestly, I'm not sure how we did it. We pulled it off though. So Tommy, we obviously don't need you to put out a poor product, because this was pretty bad.
It was tough.
I did have a good laugh at one point though, so that made it worth it. Any final words there, Chris?
No, that's it, buddy. Let's ride this off into the shitty sunset.
Yep. And anybody that wants to shop, batterfans.com for any type of merch, whether it be Miami Heat, Inter Miami, any pretty sports team at this point. So make sure you go batterfans.com. If you are listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please give us 5 stars, comment, review, all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And as always, for those of you in the chat, we appreciate you hanging out with us for the last hour and 10 minutes. I'm sorry that it was so bad, but we'll do better on Thursday when we're talking schedule release. And Dennis, shout out to you again. Much power to you, sir. I'm sure everything's going to be fine. Positive thoughts bring positive results, man. So let's keep those positive thoughts going. And we'll be back tomorrow in Espanol at 9 o'clock. So if you are wanting to talk a little more about it, Herons with Xavier La Voz and Solana tomorrow night in Spanish, make sure you join us tomorrow night at 9. So until the next one, have a good one.